unless you can handle more of the enemy. Keep fighting. Another opportunity to extract will appear soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't really lie about that. Simple title. What the heck was it? Those nav beacons. Yeah, I got lucky with the debt bonds this morning, and I got like all that I needed for the day. So, I mean, I could do the bounties now. Not gonna lie, I could still do those, but like I don't need to for a while. Yeah, so I decided to do some steel path, and it's a lot easier than I thought it'd be. Rather, a lot easier than it used to be. No change to steel path. I just got stronger. That's really it. Well, I know how many nav beacons I want to do before I call it quits and then just go to the boss. Evil boss. It's 120. So that like... I don't know how many. We could get lucky with the ambulance. Or we could not. Whatever. I'll check what I'm at after this, because it may not be worth the time investment. At least for stream, that is. Because boy, do Valbon make this easy. I get just a little closer. Just a little closer. Just the range by like 30% to get some more duration. And I do like the more duration, but I'm not quite fond of the range. When it's just like a hair, like a meter off from where you expect it to kick in. It's actually 3 meters off. That's how much range I lost. I don't even really feel the need to sprint or even let alone parkour as Valbon. Vortex is just so effective. Wonder how he got downed. He was probably getting shot at by that, but, you know.
Don't just stand there. Fix my ambulance.
It's number 5. Yeah, before I'd be farming at capture, because you very often start out in an outdoor tile on capture, which means you're going to get a dropship, and the dropship may or may not bring an ambulance with it. Capture is also a fast mission type. To complete that is... Was it rescue? No, I think it was rescue. Either way, I was doing that.
Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting? Continue to defend. You will be rewarded for
And that was tedious. So I got 120 that way. It's fine. Now there's defense, and like one of these times, 1 5-wave stint, got like 3 ambulance dropped off, which was amazing, and it hasn't been that good since. Kind of a shame it started out like that. But still, this seems a pretty good way to get nav beacons. The other thing I've been looking to do in today is getting all the Warframes I don't have. And I actually have most of the Warframes in the game at this point. I had to go check, and yeah, I do. Yeah, so I have an augment mod that allows me to feed my vortex more vortexes to make it last longer. There's a cap to the duration I can increase it to, and I've learned that cap is affected by duration, which is why I'm just like, oh, I should increase my duration a bit then. So first I'm like, yeah, I can just do max range and just feed my vortex until I get to 5-minute duration, and then we kind of stop there. But no, I can only get to like 200 seconds or something with the reduced duration. But I like the extra range, so just trying to find the compromise between range and duration. Also adaptation, I had to throw that in there if I'm finding Ambulance. So yeah, I could go do boundaries next, I could go do Warframe farming next, or I could go do Steel Path progression next. I got options, or I could go sell stuff, because I am low on plat. Like, I'm under 100. I'll tell you when you hit Mastery Rank 3, if you haven't already. If you have already, then yeah, I'll just tell you how it works. But I'll let you figure it out until then. Ambulance! Yes, there's an ambulance this time.
use your gems. Hack into that disabled ambulance.
Alright, that's 6 nav beacons. You're still MR2, aren't you? I will say, of your guesses, they're both right. There's your teaser. Kinda glad I don't have any buffs. It's like nullifiers, they're a real bother. I don't know if you're running into nullifiers yet, but like anything inside their bubble, basically it's a big silencing bubble that also like removes all of your abilities inside of it. So like it gets, my vortex gets inside the bubble, it's gone. And if I'm inside the bubble, I can't cast anything, and that's why I'm kind of glad I don't have any buffs to upkeep, because otherwise nullifiers are just annoying. Since it's like, as soon as I step inside the bubbles, all of my buffs will be gone, and I have to recast those, and that'd just be, it's more energy. With Felbon, I just have to keep him away from this, killing field. He'll be fine. Means I can dive headlong inside their nullifying bubble and punch them in the face. I mean, you can destroy the bubble with, like, gunfire, but it's, yeah, shrinks it until it goes down to nothing. And it comes back with time if you don't damage them enough. So I gotta make sure they're dead, otherwise the bubble could come back while they're inside the vortex. And that means no more vortex. I think you get Valbomb parts from Nightwave, but maybe you get them from elsewhere, I forget. You can definitely get them from Nightwave, though. Just forget if you can get them elsewhere.
I will consider what I've learned from this skirmish.
I hear a dropship. Yeah, that's good enough for now. Ambulance. Okay, that was a really easy hack. I definitely did not need to use a cipher on that. Yeah, so they aren't getting sucked up in the vortex because of the bubble, preventing it, so I can just go right in and punch them in the face. Okay, the animation connects more so with their chest, but still, you get the point. Wow. That's a... I don't actually know if that's a new low for your internet, but that is a low. First thing that comes to mind when I said the phrase new low was the Super Smash Bros. Melee announcer. It's a new record! Oh hey, I'm sprinting this Val on. Why did you jump back up? Why couldn't you have stayed down? That was odd. A vortex. God. My vortex is still here. I get bugged out. I know. Gosh, I did grow up with Melee. I don't know where the disc is, though. I have the case. I'm like, yeah, let's plug in my GameCube and play it. And the case doesn't have the disc in it. And I have no idea where the disc is. So rip Melee. If there's any kind of dropship at the end, it'd be last second.
Extraction is ready. Unless you can handle more of the enemy. That's the last of them. Objective is secure. Let's go home.
17 nav beacons. Nice. I still hate the fact that the boss fight is just a minimum 13 minutes. Like, you saw me take down the Anubis almost instantly, and that's the boss. But you have to wait for it to get taken away, and it's just like 13 minutes of sitting around. Like fuck that, really fuck that. It's busy waiting too if you don't bring a good defense frame like Valbon. You have to keep it from being repaired for like 2 minutes at a time, which is just like, if you go through it once, cool, neat fight, you know, tense moment, having to defend stuff, but you have to farm that thing for a Warframe. It's a fucking bad design. So I gotta grind through it though, because I have to do Trinity, I have to get Trinity systems. Yeah. Alright, gotta check how many nav beacons I got. Also, just to reconfirm with you, this is Nightwave.
Who have we got on the line? Oh yeah, I don't have a line.
You do the challenges, they're reset either daily or weekly. Well, they don't reset daily, they pop up daily like this one, and then they go away in like 3 days. So you have time to do the dailies. But yeah, you can get the Valbomb part from here. As well as some helmets and other things, and this is the best way to get Natane extract, by the way. Like, it's so rare in the game that you may as well consider this the only way to get Natane extract. It's technically possible to get it. Just how it's technically possible a monkey can type out Shakespeare. Half the stock cycles out weekly. Which half of the stock? From this mod down to the bottom, it cycles out weekly. So, depending on whether I can get some Nightwave creds this week or not, I probably will I? Yeah, probably will. Only 50 though. That's an issue. Oh, I could do some training too, because I think the login gave me an affinity booster. Yeah, it did. Wait, Arcane Scorpion. Interesting. Dark Dagger. I don't have this. Okay. Costs 50 creds. And the Dark Sword also costs 50 creds. And then there is the scat. I don't really care too much for the scavengers. Those are more so for completion's sake than they are for usefulness. Ammo drops apparently used to be very scarce long ago, so those were actually useful auras to equip. But now it's really rare to run out of ammo. Like you have to be using an ammo inefficient weapon as your primary, and like only use that without mixing it up at all to like run out of ammo in a standard mission. And then there's Heat Dagger 2. I don't have that either. Another 50 creds. I guess I'll get Dark Sword. Let's
get back to it.
Alright, how many? 97. I own 97, like one or two more defense missions, and I'd have 120. That was enough for like 11 runs or something. Jesus fucking Christ, those systems did not drop. Oh yeah, I forgot to double check if I actually got an email about a copyright something or other. Let me go do that right now. Because I checked right after stream and nothing. So, knowing how late YouTube is on doing absolutely anything, I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm just checking to be sure. The worst I've gotten is a copyright claim, which is just like if I was making ad revenue, that'd be a bit of a pain in the ass. But I'm not making any kind of revenue off this right now, and I encourage you guys to use ad blockers. So like I'm just gonna ignore claims. If there's a strike though, that's cause for concern. But strikes are really rare these days. Alright. And absolutely nothing. Okay, so nothing I played yesterday triggered anything.
If I may say, operator, your chosen Warframe suits you.
I think think I mentioned on an earlier stream, I don't know how long ago it was, a way to cheat the system on YouTube. Because the ones that most abuse it are music copyrights. And with them, you can just make a little song, commission a little song, or make one yourself. Use it as like your intro or outro. Get like a solid 30 seconds so that the AI definitely knows what song it is. And then file it with like a music publishing company. So they'll just auto-file it in YouTube's copyright claim library. So your video will get claimed for your own song that you own immediately. And then that ad revenue will go from your video through the music publishing company to you. So you get ad revenue on your video. Like guaranteed. Since I haven't fostered any musical talent, I won't say I don't have any because I haven't really tried. I wouldn't be able to pursue it anyways, at least not live instruments. Yeah, I'd have to commission someone, so I'd need money to start, which I don't have. Or, I guess I have a little money now, but I'd have to decide if it's worth using that on. Aw, don't have much energy. I haven't heard about what's going on Spotify. I just know people use it to listen to music every now and again. I probably should make a Spotify account or something, but yeah. So listen to music this much. Probably shouldn't use YouTube as my purveyor. Yeah, exactly. I want to know. I and Alyssa want to know Schliff. Inform us. Getting better at aiming that ability straight horizontal. Useful. Alright. Got it. Oh, you're actually playing Warframe right now. Oh, I know that feeling. Not when like talking with people, but definitely when I get whispers for trades or other stuff, it's just like, sure, I'd like to continue this conversation, but like, I'm in the middle of committing genocide. Could this wait like 2 minutes? Fortunately, with a stream and you guys, I can talk and play at the same time. Man, when you're typing.
Hey, did you hear, Tenno? I'm turning everyone's Iatan treasures into Endo. Interested?
Now I know that you're... Actually, let me double check you're actually on. Yeah, you you are. Okay, and I know you're on. Helping you is also on the table. In addition to all the stuff I mentioned earlier.
If you're looking for Maru's Bazaar, you've come to the right place. Wow, Tenno, I'm impressed. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen such a complete collection of Ayatan treasures. Come back anytime, Tenno.
Alright, now to play Droska 2. Actually, I should probably do my net waves.
It's that time again.
Getting these out of the way early is helpful. You don't have to scramble at the end of the week. No, that's all just soloable stuff. Cool. Well, except for the 30 minutes, but whatever.
It's time for Nora to say goodnight.
Ah, okay. It is sort of like it. Gaming the system kind of way. Okay. Maybe something to watch later. Somehow I feel that if the big players in the music industry did the same thing, nobody would try to stop them. At least those with power would. But not. Man. It's from America. I'm just got to assume it's wholeheartedly corrupt. Okay, they don't try to portray a face of corruption. They aren't that corrupt yet that they could brazenly show it, but they definitely will be rotted on the inside. No, it's 3 caches. Okay. There's one that I want to do for the 3 caches thing. And it's going to be a bit of a tedious one, but should be worth it.
Operator, the system needs you. Will you begin another mission?
Gerudo's fun, but I really wish her 4 actually bypassed armor like Bleed is supposed to. Otherwise her damage just tanks way too much. Oh, hello, she has space aids.
Disgusting, is it not, Operator? Oh, Operator, no! Have you lost your mind?
I will say this, keeping the assist on you has actually no negative effects. It's aside from breeding a Helminth Charger, it's purely cosmetic. Although how it spreads is anybody who comes into contact with you when you have it also gets it, and it takes a day for it to show up, so you don't actually know who specifically gave it to you. Or when. Just that it was the other day. Never quite got into the flow of Gara. I will also say you can only get space aids once per Warframe, so once you get it cured, you don't have to worry about it again. Yeah, it's a good idea to...
If I may say,
The collection is as large as mine. It's a good idea to kind of sift through your Warframes periodically to find out who has space aids and who doesn't. As for what you get from using a fully grown a hist tree. Fully-grown sis can make this Helmuth Charger. An infested dog. Infested doggo. Other than that, there's like no real no effect to having space aids.
Vile. Putrid. This thing is responsible for biological functions of the orbiter. A strange design. Why would I be linked with such a flaw?
Okay, now it's time to look through all of my Warframes to see who has space aids.
A strange biological archive here. I cannot explain it, Operator. I see no perhaps surviving the system. Orders recommends leaving at once and welding the door shut.
I probably should train since I have the affinity booster. So I have like 4 frames now, and if I count what's in the foundry and what's going to be coming in the foundry, like 7 frames. I need to train. And I also have like 3 or so weapons too. Oh, I forgot to. I need to go get neuroptics for you for this. For Atlas Prime. Okay. Wait, I think Lavos has already had space aids, but it's really hard to tell when they have thick necks. Really hard to tell. I think I'll just go to the place and just see if the option's there. Go to the medical chair.
Orders cannot remember, but there does seem to be
Okay, he doesn't have space aids.
between your Warframes and the infestation. I would
Alright, that was... Okay.
investigated or not, Orders does not trust this thing.
Yeah. Well, that's just standard disease spreading stuff. You get the disease by coming into contact with those who have the disease, but how you come in contact varies by disease. The Rona, it happens to be by the air, as in it comes out as an aerosol, which are particles small enough to float in the air currents. That's how you get the Rona. That's how you get to catch the plague right now. Which is why masks are like a great benefit, because they block that stuff, or at the very least they block like a lot of it, if not most. Definitely more than half. Probably the majority, if not. Either entirely or almost entirely, it blocks all the Rona coming out of your mouth. And even then, it like stunts the airflow around your head. Because when you talk, or even when you just breathe, the air that comes out travels like several meters. Even if you don't not strong enough to feel a current, it actually disturbs the air several meters away in front of you, and you wear a mask and it's just restricted to like a couple centimeters off your face. It's really surprising and amazing how much a mask makes a difference in this. Now, if the one who has the plague isn't wearing a mask, I mean, if you're wearing one, less of the aerosols can get through, but it should still be the one wearing a mask. Of course, the less of the plague that gets through, the less sick you get. So, still wear a mask. Oh, I thought I had like 4... No, I have 5 frames. And I still have Haro coming along. And it's actually waiting for a slot. And then I have Chroma that'll be coming, and then Titania. And then if the RNGesus bestows his blessing upon me, then I will have Titania, the Trinity as well. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You don't really hear about people getting sick all that often, so when a plague finally comes around, it's big news. Also, plagues just tend to do that, I guess. Yeah, I got 5 frames to train. I should get on that. Anywho, all the ones who have visible space aids are now cured. So let's go do training. Alright, any new primaries? I should have this. Oh yeah, I got the best, arguably best weapon in the game. Kuga Brahma. The arrows are tipped with missiles. It's something. Chemical is real small though. Anywho, I'm gonna train the Snipetron. I'm not sure if I want to keep the Snipetron though. Because the Snipetron's really hard to get given it's an event-exclusive weapon like the Ignis Wraith, but I have the Snipetron Vandal, and it's just a better version of the Snipetron. Like you can see here, it just does more damage. I mean, there's like 2% less crit chance, but like that's not going to make a big difference, and it's just better in every other way. But this Snipetron's harder to get. So, I'm not sure if I should like sell this when I'm done training it or not. I guess I should. I really guess I should. It's legitimately inferior to Snipetron Vandal in almost every way. I probably should. Okay, no secondaries to train. And I have 2 melees. Yeah, that's cool. Because I'm still really wary about the long-term health effects of having the plague. Oh, this thing does puncture, so is piercing caliber? I don't know, that's a bit overkill. I find elemental stuff is usually better. But I guess the question is, what do I want to do to train him? Fissures. I want to do fissures. And if that's the case, we're just going to go general. Yeah, there's a lot I could teach you about the game. Or I could tell you. But I'm not sure how much of it I should spoil. Because A, it's a lot of information, you probably can't even remember all of it if I tell you it all at once. And B, it kinda kill the newbie twinkle in your eye. So I find once you know how the sausage is made, you don't ever look at it the same way again. Wait, is this a horn? It's like a staff. Huh. Oh yeah, so why I have Helios around is 2 reasons. 1, investigator. Helios will codex scan things for you. So you don't have to like pull out the codex scanner yourself and pause combat and try and keep the enemy still so you can scan them. No, Helios will just do the scanning for you. Hands free. And 2, Deconstructor Prime is weapon exclusive to Helios, and it equips melee mods, so I can put the Gladiator set in here and get 30% critical chance per combo multiplier at all times. Which, like, it's pretty great, because that, I mean, Helios also just does a lot of damage with Deconstructor too. Yeah, Alyssa's whole family got the plague because, well, Is it both your parents or is it just your father who's a Nimrod? By the way, that makes me think, where the heck did Nimrod originate as an insult? Like, what was a Nimrod originally? Time for a quick Google search. Alright, from the very top summary, it says Nimrod was first referenced in 1712, and the slang alternative wasn't adopted until 1983, when it became popular amongst teenagers. But it isn't exactly clear how the word shifted from honoring a significant biblical figure to poking fun at someone who lacks intelligence. Yeah, it's Yeah, it's the name of the character in the Bible. From the little Wikipedia blurb off to the right. Should probably put this on screen. So I read to you this paragraph, and here's describing the briefly the biblical figure. So, I guess Wikipedia. First Dark Pages is so nice. That's like a fantastic reason to use Opera GX. I'm still not sponsored by them. I never was. Never had a sponsorship. Evil Nimrod. That might be part of why it transitioned. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's actually what this paragraph is getting at. About the idiom. The usage first word 1932 and popularized by the Looney Tunes cartoon characters Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, who both sarcastically referred to the hunter Elmer Fudd as Nimrod, as an ironic connection between Mighty Hunter and poor little Nimrod. But yeah, kind of sarcastically likening him to a biblical character, and it just stuck as an insult. I'll just check if I have the right sigil on my back. Yes, I do. Alright, Axie, yeah. Oh, hey, Kuva's I was about to do training. Well, let's check if somebody's hosting. And while I wait for chat to go off, let's also check. I remember it was Axie. I don't remember which relic specifically, though. Oh, A11. Yeah, Axie A11. Alright. It took me... I'm not sure how long it took me to find the mods, but like from when I started to installing to when I actually started playing Oblivion for realsies was 3 days. You need to take your time to read all the documentation. Alright. Survival. Rumors. A lot faster to type INV for invite, but rather. Partially? Mostly it's if you just kind of throw things together and then make sure the load orders don't conflict according to, like, the mod tools can usually tell you if a load order is out of whack and fix it for you at this point. But normally if you do that, it still doesn't fix all the problems. You still get crashes and bugs and all kinds of things because a lot of the bigger mods also require you to do some extra steps and some extra fine-tuning within themselves to try and make sure things are in order and all the values are set up. I kept those because, like, Oblivion was the very first RPG I played, so I'm partial to the potato faces. I keep them. Yeah, it gets tiring, exhausting even, to read through all the documentation when you have to also keep resisting the urge to just play. But it pays off so much when you have a perfectly stable game. I do not have a spare constitution. I never even got that. Well, I'll try looking for Kuba. If that doesn't get me an invite, then I'm just gonna hop into the Fisher and see what happens. And I got an invite. Alright, cool. Cannot join because session is full. Alright, never mind. Yeah, I should probably bring Wisp. And the question, I guess, is config A or config B? I'll pack B. Yeah, I'd say even if your intent is to play vanilla, I'd say at the very least install the stability mods, like the unofficial patches. At the very least, like, try to fix the crashes that can happen with the vanilla game. Well, I get the value of those mods. I'm not the kind of person to use them myself. Alright, let's use the Amprex. Yeah, I'll use the Amprex. And Sylvanegus? Pangolin. Something else. I don't know. I don't know. I have a lot of melee weapons to choose from. I have a lot. I kind of stick to the same handful. Mostly because of the ones that I've enjoyed, but at this point I only keep the ones that I've enjoyed at some point or another. Yeah, I want to know where to get Prepared to Die, though. I don't... Okay, when I checked a while ago when they released the remaster on Steam, it replaced Prepared to Die, so you couldn't get it unless you already had it. I'm not sure if that's still the case, though. Really suck if it is. Because there's this big big multiplayer mapping mod that's was it Inferno Plus? I think it was, yeah, it was Inferno Plus. Released recently. Not sure if I posted that in report or not. But it's only for Prepare to Die. Gosh, did I post it? Yes, I did. I did. Now, did I pin it? I did not pin it, so I'll go ahead and do that so you don't have to scroll back up. There, it's pinned. Yeah, this mod, I think the title might tell you a lot. Dark Souls, except it's Halo. Yeah, there probably is. They'll probably pirate it somewhere. But for now, that Survival Fisher is on a timer. $18 to go. Let's... Oh, I have a lot of Warframe relics now. And by the way, good advice, Warframe relics are a decent source of plat. Yeah. Yeah, he used to just put out like Dark Souls videos, especially meme videos, and then he started to mod for the games. So his videos come like, you know, maybe like twice a year instead of like every week or something.
Grenier have shut down the environmental system.
But damn, man, he puts in a lot of effort to his stuff.
Use these to sustain your environment or attach the catalysts to begin harvesting. Grenier official.
I just gotta wonder who the host is, because if the host says, no, I'm not here for 30 minutes, I don't know who is the host. They have to kind of out themselves. That kind of tells me. Okay, Limbo's also really good for this. I should point that out. We have 2 Limbos. And a Wisp. Okay, so you get Limbo in a quest, just in case you feel the urge to get Limbo. He deals in pocket dimensions. That's kind of what this is. This is his 4th ability. And his 2nd ability allows him to freeze anything inside his own dimension. So, yeah. It's really useful for defending stuff, because it's like, you just center your own pocket on the defense objective. And the moment anything gets near, they just can't move anymore. Yeah, the thing with key sellers is, yeah, they can be legit, but also they can legit be people who stole credit card numbers off of others and then just bought the keys to resell, kind of as a way to money launder. I forget what happens to your key, though, if it's found to be fraudulent. Where the heck is... There it goes. Yeah, the thing is, though, you don't see Limbo all that much outside of, like, defensive play, because Limbo has a bunch of abilities that can both put enemies and allies in and out of his pocket dimension. And when you're in the pocket dimension, you can't interact with anything outside of it. So, like, you can't open doors, or use terminals, or extract, or, like, anything. It's... if you aren't aware of that, it's really it's really annoying, and of course most players wouldn't know about how to get out of it on their own. So have to wait for the player to take them out of it, and of course the player probably doesn't even notice. So yeah, it's just be careful when you're playing Limbo. So you can be really powerful, but it can also be really annoying as a teammate. You know, if there's like a key giveaway, then like on like say a YouTube channel, I'd probably trust that. I haven't actually got one of those yet, but that honestly seems pretty official to me. I'm not even priming them.
Get ready for a capsule. A harvester has finished. Collect the Kuba.
Oh yeah, it's a fisher, I guess. I don't really need to prime them. Oh, we have 2 wisps. Okay, I think... Is that one max strength, or is the 62 mine? I don't know. I mean, there's the gray market, I suppose, for game stuff. That really is buyer beware, though. There is legal stuff on there, but there's also illegal stuff. It's like, there's... I guess we call them flippers. I think the technical term for it out in the business world is a speculator. Someone who buys low to sell high later, or buys high to sell low. Yeah, I have her alternate helmet on, though. She still looks cool without it, but like I like the alternate helmet more. Alright, so these runes. You need these to kill liches. So they're always in demand, and they go for like 8 to 10 plat per. So, that makes Requiem Fishers pretty good. Pretty good source of plat. Because you can get, like, the gold drop is always the same, it's a weapon Excellus slot. So you can unlock that mod slot to use on a weapon. But you can get that from, like, your syndicates using rep. So you don't actually need to get it from the Fishers, even though it's the gold drop. That has like a 2% drop chance. Then all the bronze stuff is useful in its own way. You got Kuva, which you can use to reroll ribbons. You've got Amber Stars, which is actually the least useful thing in there, because those you pop into Ayatan statues, but I don't get enough statues to use up my Amber Stars, so I don't really need those. And then there's, what was it, Ribbon Slivers? Yeah, get 10 of those. Complete a certain quest to unlock an area, go to that area, trade in 10 for a ribbon. But you can also get Ribbon Slivers playing on Steel Path. So, like, take your pick, honestly, on which bronze rewards you want the most. I have like 3 trains of thought going through my head right now. One to explain what's good about Requiem Fishers, another to tell you how Wisp plays, another to tell you how Limbo plays, another one to continue the whole thing about other non-Warframe related issues we were talking about. And now I've like forgotten a quarter of those. Multi-track drifting. I'm kind of surprised there aren't that many well-optimized Wisps out there. pretty rare to come across someone with really high. Maybe it's just the mods are rare. I don't know. Yeah, like as soon as they hit the edge of the bubble, they're just frozen in place. I haven't really using Wisp's full kit either. I already subsumed her 4-2. Yeah, so her 4 is she opens up a little portal to the sun and then just blasts a laser beam out of it. Because, I mean, you know how much energy is coming out of the sun, right? And you just open up a little pocket hole to it. Yeah, it's going to come out as laser. And, I mean, it's powerful, but of all of her abilities, it kind of scales the worst. As in, it's definitely going to kill shit for a long time to come, but eventually it won't do much. Or at least not do enough. Yeah, it's also pretty cool. Except when you have the melee idol. The melee idol, she's kind of standing, but she doesn't actually have feet, so she's still kind of floating. As soon as you go to guns, though, back to floating.
Kuba is ready to be collected.
I have not paying attention to the Koopa harvesting. So yeah, her floor I subsumed to... what was that? Infested in Power? Which was that. Which adds to 50% ability strength to your next cast. So I use it for all these motes because they're permanent. They don't have timer. I mean, the buff on you has a timer, but the motes themselves, flower petals, they last forever. And see, we're in different dimensions, so I can't hit them. And maybe there's a visual tell, but it's really hard to see. Just one of the annoying things. Like, I just check I'm in the dimension by if I can actually hit things or not.
Life support incoming. Look what Antenno Operative just found. They could not do this without you.
Hello there, Riss. So yeah, this is all the bronze rewards. And silver. So I normally do Warframe Fishers for getting void traces so then I can refine normal relics to have a better chance at their gold, since the gold for this doesn't really matter. And I actually want like the bronze and silver a lot more than the gold. Yeah, she definitely doesn't have some power.
Grab the Kuba from that capsule. Another life support capsule is now available. Commencing Kuba harvest.
Nice. I'd like to recommend you to the first clan I joined in this game, because they probably have an open slot. And they're friendly people. The problem I have is, like, there's the current clan I'm in, which has some very hardcore people that are currently, like, on hiatus from the game. So I don't really see them. And the whole reason I joined their clan is because the people in the old clan were also on hiatus for like a month. And I didn't know when they come back, and I just kind of start just do random matchmaking along with this group. After, I think, like, several weeks of that, I'm just like, yeah, fine, I'll let you poach me. And now it's just like, the inverse has happened. Old plan came back, new plan's gone. It feels a bit awkward to flip-flop that quickly. If I have to recommend an environment, I definitely recommend my old plan.
Another life support capsule is now available.
Yeah, I'm really curious what her ability strength is. I'm not entirely sure how to check that. Okay, so I see multiplier is 52%. I'm not sure what Empower would do to that. Just have to remember the base. No, it's 20. Oh yeah, then the 62 is mine, so my buffs, even though they're just universally better than hers, probably. Maybe she has better duration or something. She definitely has inferior range and inferior strength.
Life support incoming.
Might even have inferior duration.
Harvester is finished. Collect the coupon.
I don't know, I may just let my own buffs run out and see how strong her buffs are.
Additional life support has arrived. This capsule will now harvest coupon.
Oh, my buffs have run out already. Fortunately. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I go here, and then basically just let him do his thing, because I don't need to really protect while we have a limbo here. Okay, they kind of AFK'd, so I'm going to pop mine down. Yeah, my config A is like max strength, just absolutely highest ability strength you can get in the game. So these moat buffs are pretty gnarly. And then B is just, I took that and then just added, sacrificed some strength and duration to get a bit more range, so the shock modes are actually useful. Oh, here's some. Oh, this is gonna pop up then until this is over. Man, what was that? Okay, what were all the different threads? Alright, there's Modding Oblivion. There's Wisp. I still haven't mentioned how you get Wisp. There's Limbo. Referral relics. I think I got mostly done with Referral relics. Yeah, it looks like Lunara AFK'd.
I've delivered another life support capsule. Modification successful. Collecting data.
Our life support's getting a little low. Ah! Yeah. Alright. At least it wasn't something too serious. You know, I'll see if I can like stay away from the harvester long enough to for my buffs to run out. Once for dinner. Ribeye, red potato, crimson. What? I wish there were commas. Alright, buffs have run out. Let me see what this does. What is that? Oh my god. Is that what it... Health 55. Speed 37. Shock mode less range than mine. What's mine? Speed 62. Health 93. Gosh, I've almost double the strength of hers. Oh, I didn't check duration though. That's a bummer.
Additional life support has arrived.
Yeah, mine... Okay, I'm like almost... Yeah, I'm just better than hers, except for maybe duration, because I forgot to check that. Yeah, Steel Path is like genuine hard mode for this game, and I mean, as long as I kind of spec for the faction I'm fighting, it's kind of easy. So there's not much in this game that I find genuinely hard anymore. Note anymore. Used to find like level 30 enemies to be an absolutely daunting task. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. I did give you some mods to help.
Kuva is ready to be collected.
Alright, I don't have time to wait for her to...
Capsule is now available.
I need to keep this capsule alive. Yeah, like max strength with good duration sacrifices almost all of your reach. I had to put like one mod in there just to counterbalance it a bit, otherwise it's just so goddamn small. Like this ring is maybe default range, maybe not, but it's like, yeah, diameter of these petals. You can fit one person inside, is how small the range gets if you don't try to counterbalance it. Now we have mine, which is a balance of range and power and duration, and it's pretty big. Pretty big. Not as large as it can go, but pretty big. Buff's still pretty close to max strength, too. I think the max strength was like...
Life support incoming.
Was it 70% or 72%
That capsule.
speed? And then it was like 111 health. And the shock modes don't really do damage, they're all about range. And with a range abysmal like that, you can tell they ain't useful.
Another life support capsule. Modification successful. Collecting Kuva.
Actually, probably the hardest thing for me right now in the game is competing with bad teammates. Especially when it's like a stealth-oriented thing. I have to goddamn speedrun my ass to the terminal before they trip every single fucking alarm in the whole complex. That's probably the hardest thing for me right now.
As long as you can.
Now, I think in the past I would have always chose the Kuva even over the runes, because I wasn't hunting liches that often. I'm still not. Now that I know that these runes are worth plat, and also that I have other avenues of getting Kuva that are even potentially faster than this. Yeah, it's dropped down to second pick. Yeah, if I have the option, I do. But not always. Not always. Like with bounties. With bounties, I try to do those with other people, but like sometimes you get one that's like, oh, go hack this terminal. And what's the bonus? Don't trigger any alarms. I love having freaking extra crit so much. It's such big damage.
Tenno, prepare for life support.
Such big damage.
A harvester has finished. Collect the Kuva.
Maybe we should just outright ask the guy what his duration is. Or her. Honestly, the gender's... visual gender is tied to the frame, not the player.
Additional life support has arrived. This capsule will now harvest Kuva.
Well, we are kind of close. Kind of close to the end. 2/3 the way there. Oh, I've now noticed that the album has finished as well. Let's see what I can change this to. Ooh, Navigation. Oh wow, that's a lot of... That's a lot. Reacted. Oh, you won't actually get to Referral Fissures until fairly late in the star chart, so I wouldn't be concerned about them too much. Just know that once you have them available, you should get used to doing them, because they'll be a consistent way to get plat and void traces without having to... yeah, just consistent plat and void traces. That's really it. So you can make more plat. Or you can decide to just, you know, buy plat. You can do that too. Okay.
Another life support capsule is now available. That's a Kuva bonus.
Ooh, impressed by the fact that I haven't gotten a corruption buff on my Warframe yet. Well, again, I will see about letting my buffs run out. See just how strong, or rather how long-lasting hers are. So maybe she cast them. I'm bouncing back between he and she for that player, aren't I? Maybe she cast them because she got the corruption buff. Oh, that's Limbo. What the heck is Wisp? No, I don't see the corruption buff on her. So we just cast those. Alright. Oh, fuck, I just ran into my own modes. There goes the test. My word. Okay, I'm just gonna recast these then. And just like how one Wisp is a lot stronger than the other, we have one Limbo that's a lot stronger than the other. Gosh, the Radius on the force. Maybe the smaller radius lasts longer, but I'm thinking not. I'll ping that, because Helios scanned that without me knowing at all where it was. Which is, again, one of the perks of Helios. Oh, it's already... Cool. I don't have to place new ones. Yeah, this is kind of a red herring. I mean, if you need one, feel free to go for it, but like, in general, you've got other ways of getting those, you don't need them. Yeah, he's got it. Alright, I don't have to bother with him. Okay, so I think I've covered Warframe, Fissures, and Relics sufficiently. So, Limbo you get from requests, don't need to say much more, you didn't explicitly express much interest in Limbo. Wisp though. Wisp you get from a boss that you can only do pretty late into the star chart, like almost near the end. So you have to complete certain quests that you can only do very near the end before you get access to the boss. And, I mean, the boss has some unique mechanics. You can take it down, like, do the whole thing from, like, spawning into the level to killing the boss to extracting in, like, 6 minutes or less. But that's only if you, like, build for it and know what you're doing. And the thing is that most players you run into probably don't know what they're doing. So you might be in there for, like, 20 minutes at a run. And you get all of the parts from it, including the blueprint. So you're going to have to run that, like, a lot of times with potentially very bad teammates that you may or may not have to carry. And that's how you get Wisp. I still need a blueprint, though, so I can make a second Wisp to feed to my Helminth. Other than that, I mean, I'm more so just solo it. I'll just go into solo mode. It's almost not worth the hassle. Yeah, she's a really good frame, though. One of my favorites. How I got her the first time, though, is that new clan I told you about before I joined their clan. And I was just playing with them every day. So I was kind of effectively in their clan, but not officially. One of them decided, yeah, like, let's just spend the day getting frames you don't have. Since you don't have many. Like, okay, let's get Wisp, because that's an annoying one to get, and I just got carried through the boss fight, like, all day. Until I had Wisp. And I'm like, cool. You get the second one on your own. And so I got Wisp very easily. And I kind of remember the build. I don't have the exact build. But I remember the concept behind it, so I can imitate it somewhat. And I can get, I forget if it was like an 8 or 7 minute time on the boss myself. Maybe it was 13 minutes. It's definitely not 20 minutes, because I actually know what to do with the boss. It's just one of my weapons, my amp. You don't know what an amp is, and that's fine. You don't need to know what an amp is for this. But just the amp I still have the default amp, and it is... I nicknamed it the pea shooter for a reason. And like, at some point, I gotta get some new amps. So that's like the one thing that's keeping me from doing a faster time. Cookie Minster, or something like that. That's the name of the other Wisp. I will now let my buffs run out and see how strong theirs is. Well, I've already seen how strong theirs is. It's lackluster. But I will see how long they last, because if they're long duration buffs, then cool. But I have a feeling that it's my duration we're looking at, which... Alright, now it's time to go. Oh, it's also time to go in the other sense, too. We're at 30 minutes. Alright, let's see. Oh, wow. Yeah, like 65 seconds. Jeez. Yes. Yes, our duration is way up there. Strength and the range aren't, but the duration is there.
Additional life supply has arrived. You will all share in this bounty. Hold out as long as you can.
Alright, if I pop mine down... Oh, would you look at that, Ribbon Slivers. We're past a half hour, we're just gonna keep going. Alright, let's see. There it is, 93. Oh yeah, like 38 seconds compared to 65. Yeah, their duration's way longer. I have far more strength. I have like double the strength and double the range, but I've got half the duration. This may end up just being most of the stream. It's already 21:34. Jeez.
Life support on the way.
It really doesn't feel as long as it has been. Just one of the risks of doing survival. Other endless missions is they just kind of go on and on and on, and like, yes, more and more rewards, more and more loot. Then you realize, oh, we've been here for an hour. But I thought we entered like 20 minutes ago. No, it's been an hour. It's been an hour.
The rebel has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside. I've delivered another life support capsule. Commencing critical mass.
Wait a minute. I got corruption buffed. 125% speed, 187 health per second. Oh my god, what the hell is the shock mode range right now? Oh my god, wait, can I check? Will it show? Oh, it shows. It shows. 57 meters. Oh, fantastic. How glorious. Corrupted with. Only took a half hour. All I have to do is just periodically re-enter some motes to keep the buff up. Because it always prioritizes the stronger buff when it comes to refresh. Since my buffs are already so strong. Oh, they get highest priority.
Another life support capsule is now available. This capsule will notify us to the
Wait, where's the end of my moat, though? Where's the range? I don't see the circle. Oh, here it is. Yeah, that's far. That's far. Yeah, honestly, that's happened many times to me on several games, and I think Warframe is probably the newest addition to that list. Oh, my buff is gone. Well, all good things must come to an end, just as all bad things must come to an end. The good and the bad, they must come in turns.
Life support capsule is now available. Modification successful. Collecting reload.
Face it, everything that has a beginning must also have an end. So then something that is endless also has no beginning, which then begs the question, how did it come into existence if it never began? Weird. Oh no, do I go for Vom or do I go for Foss? Well, I'll give the other guy some void traces. If you pick, as you see here with the +5 there, if somebody else picks yours, you get 5 void traces out of it. So, if you pick someone else's, you give them 5 traces. Can't really tell whose is who on that screen though. It'd be a bit hard to give a specific person all the traces, but you know, it's there. Actually, how far are you in the star chart now, Schliff? Because I know, actually, that question should have been obvious who was directed to, because Alyssa doesn't play Warframe. Yeah, more Kuva. So honestly, I've decided I'm just going to keep rerolling Silva and Aegis until I get a god roll. And I already have a pretty good roll right now, but it's not a god roll. Wait, where? There.
Additional life support has arrived. This capsule will now house
Oh, you also can't pick up loot while you're in the other dimension too. Which is like another thing you have to watch out with when playing as another annoyance with a bad limbo. Oh yeah, I did that too. It'll take you maybe a month or two to complete the star chart. Well, it'll probably take you within a month if you don't get sidetracked like I did. Because I got sidetracked with all the, like, the void fissures and stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, there's all these other things I could be doing besides main plot progression. And that's why it took me, I think, maybe 2 months to complete the star chart. I got through most of Venus today in the Steel Path. I think at least half of it. And corrupted buff again. Phew. Yeah, it's also a good thing because the prerequisite for getting access to the steel path is you have to 100% the star chart. So you completing every planet as you go through is that's definitely one way to go about it. Because otherwise you could kind of blitz through all the main nodes to unlock each planet. And then you'd have to go back and complete all the nodes anyways. From what I've heard around, like just in chat, so I guess it would be read instead of heard, is that you can actually, if you do it that way of just blitzing through to the end, you can complete the star chart insofar as unlock all the planets type of complete in like a week. Ah, how rude. Take that. Yeah, I'll let you have your moment of glory. That's like... I really was pretty close to double her size. Okay, so as far as wistability goes, you've only really seen her floating around and using her one. Ones I put down what are officially called motes, but they're the flower things. And get inside their circle, you get buffed. You leave the circle, the buff lasts for however many seconds. I think the default's like 30 seconds, so it can go up from there. There is the Vitality Mote, which increases your max health by a flat amount and gives you a flat amount of health regen per second. That's equal to 1/10 the flat health increase. Okay, the guy with the harvester is way back there. What comes before slitters for me? There's the haste mode, which increases your movement speed, your parkour speed, and your attack speed, but not your reload speed. Your reload speed stays the same. Why I bring up a parkour speed is it isn't explicitly listed. It's just like, hey, you can move faster with the buff, but it also does affect bullet jump speed. Because it can feel like sprinting, or I guess flying a little faster, is faster than bullet jumping, but bullet jumping is still faster. Alright, that was the haste mode. Then there's the shock mode, which is just 5 enemies, like every, I think it was 3 seconds? It will shock 5 enemies within a radius. Yes. I feel like we'll probably end up doing 1 hour. And I'm fine with going a bit overtime for that, or more like I don't wanna just alt-tab off to stream to close it mid-mission. Yeah, the shock modes are supposed to deal like 1 point of damage. I think mine deal like 17. or something. It is, the damage is affected by ability strength, but it doesn't really have any kind of significant effect, because 17 damage to enemies that take like 10,000 hit points, it's nothing.
Additional life support has arrived. Modification successful. Collecting feedback.
And of course, duration affects how long the buffs last once you leave Moat's circle. That's her 1, which is what you'll be using like all the goddamn time. That's what she's known for, that's what people want out of her. Man, there's so much shit, I'm starting to lose frames. Man, I'm getting close to 60 FPS.
The relic has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside.
Anywho, where is it going? Alright, her 2. Her 2, which I haven't actually used yet, is that. Clone of herself. And you can teleport to it by reactivating. Also, the other thing is that your clone moves in a straight line, and it flies in a straight line, doesn't just move. Flies, it does activate doors, so it can go through them. And see, there we go. Yeah, if you get stuck in the limbo realm, just roll to get out of it, unless you're inside the bubble. If you're inside the bubble, you gotta get out of the bubble. Otherwise, just roll to get out. That aside. Right. Her clone has increased aggro and is invulnerable, so enemies will shoot at it instead of you. And it can't die. And on top of that, you are invisible as long as your clone's out. So, until that timer is up, I am basically invulnerable. Then if you hold it down, instead of a tap cast, do a full cast, it goes faster, and as soon as you release, you get teleported. So you can do a whole cast for mobility's sake. It's pretty rare, but it is handy. Yeah, that's just her 2. Her 3... Oh, I can't put it because of the... Right. You have to wait for this timer to go out. Oh, okay, that's an easy choice for me. Taking that fast. I mean, I keep 2 for myself, so I can hunt my own liches, but like the rest I sell off. Because they are always in demand. Maybe you can come across people who buy in bulk from you, which is always nice. Then... Okay, Explainer 2, or 3. Where's like a decent chunk of enemies? So it's this. That little circle of thingies expands outwards. The stuff inside of it gets blinded. So yes, it does get blinded, which does mean you can get a stealth attack multiplier on it. It's not like Excalibur's Radio Blind, where it can also do a stealth attack finisher on them. It's not that level of blind, but still get stealth attack bonus. Because they can't see you. And of course they're stunned for a bit when they initially get blinded. And it also puts that little red thing on their heads, which the game calls an aggressive surge spark. And And what that does is every time you hit them, and this cannot be modified by mods, so it's just a flat 15% chance that each time you hit them, they'll spawn a little red, little matching color spark that shoots off of their head and homes in on the nearest enemy head specifically. It always headshot when it can, and it deals radiation damage equal to, I think the base multiplier was like 1.5 times the attack that triggered it. So say I hit the enemy for like 1,000 damage, and that is what triggered the Surge Spark, then the Surge Spark will deal 1,500 radiation damage to whatever enemy it decides to home in on. And then because it's radiation damage, it can also inflict a rad proc, which makes them allied with no one, so they'll turn on their allies as well. You can get some infighting going on, which, of course, when they attack each other, they can also trigger more Surge Sparks. And there's some... It doesn't happen that often, but it can happen where I get a chain reaction of Surge Sparks going on. They just keep triggering themselves, and because the damage multiplies off of itself, it just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing until everything is dead, and I have done nothing but stand there. It started with, like, I don't know, like a 15, then triggers, goes to like a 600 damage, and then it goes like to 20,000 damage per Surge Spark, and it's just, what is going on? No. Oh boy. Okay. Let's get some life support. We can still extract at 0%, by the way. Like, once it hits 0%, we have to get out. We can't continue. But it's not like instant fail at 0%. Yeah. So the damage multiplier, though, on the Surge Spark is tied to your ability strength. So I think mine's like 5 times or 6 times the damage that inflicted it. So I'll hit a guy for 5k, and then the Surge Spark will go out and hit a guy for 30k. And I'm just like, okay, that one shot, dude. I'm fine with that. Anyway, I need to kill things like really fast. Because they have, how we're keeping our life support up is that enemies have a chance to drop life support modules that restore 5%. So I just gotta kill shit really fast, otherwise we could potentially run out. Oh, and the killing blow on an enemy that's affected by R3 will always spawn a Surge Spark. Instead of the 15% chance, it's always 100% on killing blows. Okay, we're back up to 40%. See, I don't use her 2 or 3 much, just because like the Buster Worker 1 and the command with my weapons is often good enough, but for like Steel Path, I'll be using all 3 of those abilities in conjunction with each other. Because I'll want to, like, say, take off aggro for myself with the 2, and then increase my damage dealt with the 3. It's, becomes very imperative to play it optimally. As for her 4, I haven't used it too much, and as I said, I subsumed it with, Infested in Power. I don't fully remember what it does, but it was basically a laser beam, and that laser beam had a 100% chance to cause Surge Sparks. So if you blinded some guys and started firing your laser from the sun, you get guaranteed Surge Sparks off of that. And some other effects too, based on the modes you had. Yeah, there's also ability synergies too. For example, her... Right, so her 3 has some ability to it as well. You can show up, see that circle there, that red circle? Cast my 3, I teleport to the mode. and it doubles the radius of the 3. So it just hit the guys way over here. Like way over here. You have to be at least 10 meters away from your remote for you to do that. If you get too close, you can't do it. However, it has a limited range on the teleport. As long as you have line of sight, you can do it. And then the other synergy is between her 2 and her 3, which is that when I spawn my clone and then cast my 3, my clone casts my 3 as well. So you can send your between you and your clone, you can cover a much wider area. And when you do the teleport for the double range, your clone casts a double range one as well, without teleporting itself. So you can cover an absolutely massive range like that with your 3. Oh, and her passive, by the way, her passive is that as long as she's airborne, she's invisible. So, you know, you can bunny hop if you want to do stealth missions. Alright, we're probably going to run out of life support. Extraction is this way. I want to get a bit closer to where extraction is, honestly. Okay, we're gonna have to go. Or not, unless we get really lucky, we're gonna have to go.
Additional life support has arrived. Commencing cocoa harvest. Shadow, extraction is ready.
Yeah, we're aware. Hope I can get a bit lucky with some... Nope, 0% life support. Alright, we gotta go. Once it's at 0%, if you die, you fail. You lose everything you got up to this point. So be real prepared to bail when it gets to 0%.
Triumph over adversity.
Man, that's a lot.
Person acting true.
Oh, okay, almost 20k Guva. 2 fast, 2 Vom, 1 Riss, 3 Craw. And how many Void Traces? We're in there for a little over an hour. 618 Void Traces, that's probably... yeah. Oh, it didn't max me out at 1069. So, yeah. Oh, it's exactly 2200 as well. Yeah, I guess I'll show the videos here for Breach Surge. You kill a guy, the Surge Sprout comes out, hits another guy. And you can use it to teleport. And... oh, that's just repeating. I wonder what show the synergy between the 2 and 3 here. Shows you teleporting to it, because you do get, I think it was like, yeah, it's 5 seconds for me of invulnerability once you teleport. I think? No, it was 3 seconds. It's immutable. I was looking at total duration of the clone. Doesn't show much. Okay, that's power. Yeah, I kept it on config C. Yeah, just open a portal to the sun. And just kill things. Yeah. Yeah. If you hold down the fire trigger, it drains more energy per second, but also deals more damage. Yeah, I mean, that is a lot of damage, but it's like not enough damage for Steel Path. Not enough to justify the cost for Steel Path. But you won't have to worry about Steel Path for a while, and you may never have to worry about Steel Path if you decide not to do it. So you can keep this and not do Empower. And have a laser at the ready. Just the sun is a deadly laser. Yeah, I guess I'll show you where on the star chart you can get it. So I think you have to complete... I think you have to complete the Chimera Prologue, which also requires you to complete the War Within. You'll get to that eventually. You'll definitely get to the War Within. And then one that you may miss would be... I feel like you'll eventually get to it, since you want to do all the stuff in the Clan Dojo. But I think it was Rising Tide? I don't know, I just remember that the Chimera Prologue had a couple of prerequisite quests you had to complete, and the War Within was one. You do that, you can then do the boss on Jupiter, the Rhopalolist. I think you have to do the War Within before you can access Ganymede, so these two nodes are going to be off limits for you until you're at, like, Sedna or something. It's like really late in the star chart, because you have to go with like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and then to either Eris or Sedna. It's like really late that you'll be able to access those two nodes.
Operator, the system needs you.
But yes, Rhopalolist is the boss. Get Wisp from. And with this, I will end the stream. I will say that, yes, it is good to do Nightwave weeklies, but I wouldn't... You probably can't do most of these because you don't have stuff like... You probably don't have the keys required for the vaults. You may or may not have a mining tool. Sometimes there's stuff that's like, hey, go do railjack things. You definitely can't do that, so like... Do the stuff you can and progress along these, because it's basically free stuff for playing the game. And don't worry too much about the other things. Yep. Good night, Schliff. Good night, Alyssa. I'm gonna go poop if you want to know what I'm about to do after stream. Farewell.